Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a story for you that's just wild. It's one of those situations where you think things can't get any weirder. And then life says, hold my beer. It all started on what was supposed to be a completely normal Tuesday. I remember coming home from work, feeling that familiar sense of relief as I walked through the front door. I was ready to just unwind, maybe watch a movie with my wife Sarah. We'd been married for 5 years, and like any couple, we had our ups and downs. But I genuinely thought we were in a good place. I called out her name. Sarah, I'm home. But the house was silent. That wasn't too unusual. Sometimes she'd be out running errands or at the gym. I dropped my keys on the counter and noticed an envelope with my name on it. My heart did a little lurch. It wasn't my birthday. It wasn't an anniversary. Bills don't usually come in fancy envelopes. With a sense of dread, I tore it open. The letter inside was short, cold, and ripped my world apart in just a few sentences. She was leaving me. She said she'd fallen in love with someone else, someone she'd been seeing for months. She had already packed her things and was gone. Just like that. The next few weeks were a blur of confusion and heartbreak. I felt like I was walking through a fog. I'd go to work, come home to an empty house, and just stare at the walls. The silence was deafening. Friends and family called, offering their support, which I appreciated, but nothing really broke through the numbness. I was just going through the motions, trying to process how the life I thought I had was just a lie. I replayed every conversation, every moment, searching for clues I might have missed. Was I not paying enough attention? Was I a bad husband? My mind was a whirlwind of self-doubt and anger. One evening, my phone buzzed. It was a text from a number I didn't recognize at first. It read, "Hey, it's Chloe, Sarah's cousin. I heard what happened and I'm so sorry. I can't believe she would do something like that. Are you okay?" Chloe, I remembered her from family gatherings. She was a few years younger than us, always seemed sweet and a bit shy. I appreciated her reaching out. It was honestly the first message I'd gotten from Sarah's side of the family, and it felt nice to know that not everyone over there thought I was the bad guy. I texted back a simple, "Thanks, Chloe. I'm hanging in there." We exchanged a few more texts that night. She was surprisingly easy to talk to. She didn't offer empty platitudes or try to defend Sarah. Instead, she just listened. She asked how I was really doing, and for the first time in weeks, I felt like I could be honest. I told her I was a mess, that I felt lost and betrayed. She replied, "I can't even imagine. If you ever need to just vent or grab a coffee and get out of the house, please let me know. Seriously." A few days later, I took her up on the offer. We met at a small coffee shop downtown. Seeing her in person, she was just as I remembered, kind eyes, a gentle smile. We talked for over 2 hours. She told me she was never a huge fan of the guy Sarah left me for, and that she always thought Sarah and I were a great couple. It was comforting to hear. It felt like a small anchor in the storm I was living in. We started meeting up more regularly, first for coffee, then for lunch. It became the one thing I looked forward to in my week. She was a breath of fresh air. Our conversations were never heavy. We talked about movies, books, our jobs, funny childhood memories. With Chloe, I could forget about the mess my life had become, even if just for a little while. I started to feel a semblance of my old self returning. I was laughing again. I was genuinely smiling. I started to see her not just as Sarah's cousin, but as Chloe, a funny, smart, and incredibly kind person who had shown up for me when I was at my lowest. It was a friendship I didn't know I needed, and I was so grateful for it. One Friday night, we decided to grab dinner. We went to a nice Italian place and shared a bottle of wine. The conversation flowed easily, as it always did. We were laughing about something silly when she suddenly got quiet. She looked at me, her expression turning serious. "You know," she started, "I really admire how you're handling all of this. You're so much stronger than you think." I was a bit taken aback, but thanked her. "No, I mean it," she continued, her voice softer now. "Seeing you, talking to you, you're a really great guy. Sarah was a fool to let you go." The atmosphere shifted. It wasn't just friendly anymore. She reached across the table and placed her hand on mine. Maybe this was all meant to happen," she said, her eyes locked on mine. "So that you could be free for something, or someone better." My mind went completely blank. I could feel my heart start to pound in my chest, but not in a good way. Was this really happening? Was my ex-wife's cousin hitting on me? I didn't know what to say. The wine, the cozy restaurant, her hand on mine, it was all suddenly incredibly overwhelming. Chloe, I started, trying to find the right words. I really appreciate you saying that. And I appreciate our friendship more than you know. You've been amazing. I gently pulled my hand back. But you're Sarah's cousin, and I'm not in a place to even think about anything like that right now. It just feels complicated, her smile faltered. She looked down at the table, a blush creeping up her neck. Oh, she said quietly. Right. Of course, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make things weird. I got carried away. The rest of the dinner was painfully awkward. We made small talk, but the easy, comfortable vibe we'd had was gone, replaced by this thick, unspoken tension. I paid the bill, and we walked out onto the street. The silence was deafening. I should probably get going, she said, not quite meeting my eyes. Yeah, me too, I replied. As I watched her walk away, I felt a confusing mix of emotions. I was flattered, I guess, but mostly I just felt weirded out. The one person who had been a genuine source of comfort had just crossed a line I never thought would be there. The next day, I had a text from her. Hey, I'm so embarrassed about last night. I completely misread things, and I'm so sorry if I made you uncomfortable. Our friendship means a lot to me, and I'd hate to lose it over my stupid moment. Can we please just pretend it never happened? I stared at the message for a long time. Part of me wanted to say yes, to go back to how things were. Our coffee dates had become a lifeline. But could we really pretend it never happened? I knew, deep down, that things would never be the same. The innocence of our friendship was gone. I decided I needed to be honest, for both our sakes. I texted back, I appreciate you saying that, and I don't think you're stupid at all, but I don't think we can pretend it didn't happen. It did, and it's made things complicated for me. I think I need some space to figure things out on my own. I hope you can understand. She replied with a simple, I understand. And that was it. I haven't heard from her since. It's a strange kind of loss. I lost my wife, and then I lost the one friendship that was helping me heal. Looking back, I don't hold any anger towards Chloe. I think she was just trying to be kind, and maybe her feelings got tangled up along the way. But it was a huge lesson for me. When you're healing from something as devastating as a breakup, your judgment can be cloudy. You're vulnerable. And you have to be so careful about the lines you draw and the situations you put yourself in. My priority had to be my own healing, and that meant stepping away from a situation that was becoming too messy, too complicated. It was a tough call, but it was the right one. It taught me that sometimes the best way to take care of yourself is to just be by yourself. And slowly but surely, that's what I'm doing. It's not easy, but I'm getting there, one day at a time. Thanks so much for listening to my story. If you've ever been in a weird, complicated situation like this, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories. I'll see you in the next one.